Hey everybody, welcome back to another Sam and Max episode review, and I am recording this voice with a sore throat. I'm kind of sick, but I'm recording it anyway because I gotta meet the Christmas deadline with this one. So this is the Christmas themed Sam and Max episode, and personally, I think this is probably my favorite episode of Sam and Max. The basic premise of this one is that Sam and Max are visiting Sam's grandmother for Christmas, and she has a history as a prison warden, so for Christmas she sort of visits the prisoners and gives them like gifts and stuff. And while this is happening, some of the prisoners try and escape, and so hijinks ensue. And with this one, it is really just joke after joke after joke, really well timed, and they're not always like heavy hitter jokes, but even when they're not like super crazy jokes, they still have a humorousness to them. I don't normally note the writers in these episodes, but this one is written by Steve Purcell, who is basically the creator of Sam and Max, so I think that's a big reason as to why I like this episode a lot. Sam's grandmother is really great personality-wise. I really love how I just love her whole attitude and the way she comes across. The villains here, I don't think Sam and Max as a series have super strong villains that you make note of, but the villains are functional, you know what I mean? They're not super entertaining or memorable, but as far as plot devices in order to get the story going, I think they work fine. The environment is really unique as far as Sam and Max goes, being a prison and everything, although I suppose every episode sort of takes place in a unique environment, so I don't know why I made a point of that. But yeah, just overall, really good episode. I talk a lot about how sometimes the plot is a bit too thin, or they don't do a good job having enough plot for a 10-minute episode, and it can sometimes feel a bit weak. But with this episode, nothing feels particularly stretched out or anything. They lay down the beats of, here's what we're gonna do, here's the turn with the bad guys to facilitate a bit of conflict, we have the conflicts play out, we reach a climax, and then we have a bit of an end capper. And none of it ever feels like, okay, let's just flounder around for a bit, not really knowing where to go. It's an episode with a very clear focus, and that's something else I like about it. Also, I feel I would be remiss if I didn't mention the shower scene, where like I don't know how they got away with that on a quote-unquote kids show. I mean, technically it's supposed to be a family-friendly show, but I don't know, it has this is one of those scenarios where it's like, this might appeal to an older audience more than the kids, I think. But yeah, they got in your face with those jokes in the shower area. But yeah, so overall, my favorite episode of Sam and Max. I don't really know what else to say about it. Sorry again for a really short review. I can't really think of any glaring negatives per se about this episode. I just really like it. As I said, the villain is very uninteresting, kind of bog standard. Santa's cameo at the end was sort of weird. Spoilers, I guess. I don't think it's really spoiler to say there's a Santa cameo. It's a bit weird of a cameo, though. But anyway, yeah. I don't really have too many big problems with this episode. I really enjoyed it. The humor, really fantastic, I think. When you're talking about Sam and Max, the show, that is, the humor is really the key point that they have to nail, and they really nail it in this episode. And yeah, that's all I got. So with that said, happy holidays. Thanks for watching. Feel free to like or dislike. Subscribe if you want more Sam and Max videos in the future. But until then, I hope you have a lovely... Someone, I don't know if you heard it, but someone like slammed a door behind me. Anyway, whatever. I gotta stop talking now because my voice is tired. But yeah, hope you have... Thanks for watching. I already said that. And have a lovely day.